Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's Amari, your Perpetual Tech Noob, learning more with you. And today we're over here back at it at my little baby Letter to Success app. I'll try to make sure that I remember to leave the links to the GitHub repository and to the live site in the description as well. I usually post it on the screen, but yeah. Okay. Today we're not going to be working on Mr. Marcelo's suggestions once again. You know me, I'm here and there, and I had other ideas for this app even before he suggested things to me. But like I said in one of those videos, I was a little scared to break things, and I wanted to hurry up and finish in a timely fashion, right? And a lot of things took a lot of time. But anyway, getting off the complaining, right? You'll see some things in front of you. You might be wondering what's going on, especially here. I have this video, right, in my app. It's the only thing that isn't committed as yet. That video, as you can see, this page is eerily similar to it. Okay. The fact is that I decided to make a little video for the home page, this page that you see in front of you. Anyway, get into it, right? Like I said, I have this video here. I'll show you a little demo of how it operates. As you can see, that is a 4-second video. There's no sound playing from VS Code, but there is sound on the video. But regardless, let me just show you how I got that accomplished. Like I said, it was taken from this picture that was sitting in this app and never really got used. And like I said before, I did want to use it. So this is what happened, right? I had to crop out a large section of that image because that box that was there, even though it was good as a placeholder, I didn't want to use the actual box. What's done is done. That was an arm. As you can see, part of my man's arm got cut off over here. Seeing I had to crop that box out. So, and you might be wondering, okay, how are you gonna make this look halfway decent like here? But I'm sure most of you already figured. All I had to do was use a white background, right? So, as you can see, going back to the channel help code, the folder that I have to help me out with little snippets of code for this channel. I have the man's arm here just to replace it. The bodies, because those bodies at the bottom, I'm not sure if you remember, there's like 3 or 4 of them, and there's only a maximum total of 3 players that could play the game. So I wanted to do something about that, right? So I cropped out a few images of the people who will be waiting under the ladder, right? Because it's Letter to Success, but it's supposed to be the ladder to success. Spin the wheel and climb the ladder to success. I'm sure you all caught the pun, or the supposed pun. Regardless, this is what I cropped out. The funny thing was with this, I basically set up this game so that the only puzzle that would play would be this particular phrase. Okay, with the pictures explained that I used, oh, you know what, while I'm here, right, I might as well just show you a demo of how that turned out, right? I have the whole screen, here we go, the whole screen as body. In my script, I made the screen have a click event. So I could click anywhere on the screen and have that last letter flip. And I had to do the code over to make the letter flip in this particular code so that the letter will flip over, right? The puzzle, the arm, the people who's waiting 1 and waiting 2, the face down card, the letter card, the letter box, that's a separate entity from the letter card. The letter turning animation and the keyframes for the animation. But I'll go back over that in a second. In the meantime, let me just stay here and show you this demo finally. Right, like I said, I click anywhere here. You can see that the arm is a little on the fuzzy side where I had to amend his arm, but I wanted to make sure that the arm reaches out to that particular box and that he's not blocking the rest of the puzzle, right? So let me just click it and let it happen. All right, very simple. As you can see, I have the puzzle, right? I showed you that picture before. The arm, the single arm picture, the puzzle, the puzzle that didn't have the R, waiting 1 and waiting 2, and the letter, which is, this was an empty square. So of course I had to put a div in there so that I could control it, right? Right now is on a face down class. And of course I had to add my script in here, right? Simple script. We could just simply go through it a little quickly. The short applause and the correct bell, of course, I took that from the Letter to Success app. I just transferred it over. The letter card is just regular JavaScript, so of course I have to get element by ID, right? The screen, same thing, but I didn't put any ID on the body, so just query selector for the body, right? Made a screen add event listener for a click. You got to play the correct bell and then set a timeout where the letter card class list is going to equal letter turning before it equaled face down. So it's going to equal letter turning, and you have the short applause play because I wanted the correct bell. I wanted the bell to ring off while the box was turning yellow to signify that you got a correct letter. I wanted the correct bell to play, and then I wanted the short applause shortly after that, right? Then I have the next set timeout after 3 seconds where that same letter card class list will turn into letter card. So when it's in the middle of its flipping, basically before it turns fully over, I wanted it to show that R being flipped over. So I'll just show one more time. Right? Looks pretty smooth. It came out pretty nice. Script and the index is done. I glazed over the styles. I put this as the background image of the body. And then I set up where the puzzle was going to be. Then I set where the arm is supposed to be to match where the person is already. I put person 1, waiting 1 and waiting 2 down here, right? Seeing that the whole picture couldn't fit on the screen, they're probably the original 4 that was there are probably further below, which gave me the opportunity to just put these 2 here. Waiting 1 and waiting 2, putting them in their position, having the face down styles so that these letters, right, their background color is not exactly white. As you can see here, is very close, but I had to change it just a touch just to make sure it matched. And you can still see that this is still a little brighter than the rest of them, but it is what it is. And the letter's a little darker than the rest of them, but I'm not going to stress over that, right? By the time it goes on the screen, it's going to be smaller, so it wouldn't be something to stress about too tough. Getting the letters to make sure that they match and in decent sizing and everything and spacing, that was something else, but it wasn't that bad. It's regular CSS stuff. Regardless, the letter, right? And the letter card. And like I said before, the letter turning styles so that I could also attach it to the keyframe for the animation. Just for those who might want to take a picture and might want to try this out at home. Regardless, I am done here, right? So what I'm going to do is click off on that, extend this back. We already went over this, so I don't need this anymore. All right, now let's get into the code. Finally, right? I know that's what you came to see. So let me get this picture off. The video, as you can see, had no sound, but is okay. When I recorded it, the video did have sound. It's just not playing here on VS Code. As a matter of fact, there's some finagling that I had to do for that. Let me get into the code. Let's stop playing around with y'all, right? They're like, oh, we gotta get to the code, please, sir. Thank you. Okay, the first things first. On app.js, there was a simple change made, right? That change was adding sound to the home page, because I want to make sure that if someone clicks the mute button, then even if they click on the screen to make the video play, they still don't have to be inundated with the sound, since they clicked the mute button. Evidently, they wouldn't want to be. I know it's very peculiar the way I set it up, the way I space things out, but OCD, because if I make it do the prettier thing, if I make it prettier as they call it, these will all go back here, and I really don't like that. So anyway, moving forward, I added sound as a prop that's going to home page, right? That was the first move. And while I'm at it, might as well get into homepage. So homepage now has one prop, which is sound. Okay, not only do I have the sound coming in, but I'm gonna have to make some changes up top here. Let's open this up for now. I no longer need the wheel, right? And that being said, I can scratch this off as well. Now, to control the state of the home page, I'm gonna need a use state, right? And I also want that video. I'll just call it vid for now. Might go crazy. Okay, with all that said and done, I got my sound, I got my video inputted in, I got use state. Let's set up this use state, right? Well, you know what? Just look for the use state snippet. Hey, what can I call it? Video is playing. Okay, sir. And we'll start it off as false, because when you first get on the page, I don't want the video to automatically play. Matter of fact, there's a thing about the video automatically playing when it comes to JavaScript, where that if you have sound in the video, is not going to allow your video to play, right? Unless you set it up where is muted, then it could autoplay. But moving forward, in the meantime, I'll explain that a little bit more later and my workaround for that. Let me make a little function now. We gotta just set the video is playing to the opposite. of what it is now. Right? But that's not all, folks. That is not all. The issue is that, well, the way I'm gonna set it up, you'll see that it wouldn't just automatically play like that, because I want the sound to play with it. And I can't just have, like I said, if I have the sound playing, if I have the sound unmuted, it's not going to autoplay. Okay, the home page. I want the entire home page to have a click event. Just like how we did in that video that I made on my channel help code. And on that on-click event, we're gonna set up the play vid function to operate. Right? Now, instead of the wheel, let's set up a video tag. Class name. Keep it simple. I have a particular width that I want for it. I'll use a percentage so that it could work on multiple size screens. Hopefully. I'll set it up to autoplay. But like I said, seeing that the sound is going to be unmuted at the beginning, it is not going to autoplay. Now, I set it up where muted is the same as video is playing. So at the beginning, muted is false, so it's not going to autoplay, right? And also, I want to set it up so that even when it does play, if someone has the mute button pressed already, then even if it does play, it won't have any sound. And the video source, well, pardon me. And the type is an MP4. I have to learn that the hard way. You can't just put any old video in there. You trying to go for Apple lossless and all this kind of craziness. They're like, we don't know what you're talking about, buddy. Okay, here we go. Right? So like I was saying, I'll explain this set of code, why I have the set timeout to basically reverse what I did. Okay, if you know your functions, you understand that the functions are just a set of orders. The set of orders do not get executed while the function is being read. It's like it kind of stacks up in the queue. So when the function is finished being read and they say, okay, that function that they wanted is completed, and we have everything, all the information from the function, all the instructions from the function, and then they execute everything almost simultaneously. Oh boy. Okay, some guy in his words today. Everything gets executed almost simultaneously when the function is completed, when the reading of the function's instructions are completed. So I have this to set the use state to true, right? But if this is true and muted is true, then it's not going to play my sound, right? So then I have this to set it up where that video is playing set the video is playing back to false, right? So what it's going to do, because as far as the function is concerned, they say, okay, you want to set the video is playing to the opposite of what it is now, which is false. So this is going to be true, right? But then they look at this one and they don't take this into consideration because this hasn't got changed yet. So this operation says set video is playing to what it is now, which is false. So this says set it to the opposite, which is true. This one says set it to what it is now, which is false, right? Because the function is not read yet, so they didn't start executing any lines of code yet. So it's going to change it to true, and in 1/10 of a second, it's going to change it back to false. So muted will be false. I'm going to trick the thing into saying, okay, autoplay could go ahead and operate because it's muted, because it was true. But then 1/10 of a second later, it's going to turn muted back to false so that I could play my sound. And the opposite of sound. If sound is true, then this is going to be false. So muted will be false. If they do mute it, then sound will be false, and this will be the opposite. So muted will be true, because muted is the opposite of sound. So I'm sure I don't have to go through that too much, right? Too much explaining, right? So let's just try it out one time, right? I got it saved. If I press the button, everything worked out, right? If let's say I go to set it up and I come back, right? It automatically runs through. But let's say if I had it muted and I went to go set it up and I came back. Okay, well, it didn't play the sound just like we wanted. Okay, just to show you it's not a fluke, this is where I have to actually press the div because it's not automatically going to play. So I pressed the muted button and it automatically went in. But hey, no sound because it's muted. Pardon the what I call the motorcycle. No sound because it's muted. So everything works out, right? If I go to setup and I come back, it auto plays, but the sound is muted, so it's not going to play any sound. So it worked out, right? Now, with my little finagling to make sure that things operated as I liked it. No more spinning wheel, mundane spinning wheel at the beginning. Now this doesn't look too bad. It doesn't. And matter of fact, a part of me wants to keep it like this. A big part of me wants to keep it like this. Let me try something out one time. Because in my plans, I was going to change the whole background white. Okay. You see, now we've noticed an issue, right? The screen is the footer is not all the way at the bottom as I would hope. The screen turned out pretty okay, you know, with the box for the video. Hopefully you don't have your speakers all the way up as I do when you're playing this game at home. But if you do, just be mindful that could be pretty loud. Regardless of what, that the cream with the one little video clip, it doesn't really look horrible. 320, 568. Let me try something else. Okay, on the screen it doesn't look bad because the video takes up enough space that it pushes the footer all the way down. But as you can see on the screen, that doesn't look good. We're gonna fix that before this thing is done. And when I mute it, it automatically plays. And we're good to go with the muted sound though. This does not refresh that screen, but I could leave and come back and it does. Okay, a little more editing issues to make sure I lower that part of the sound, but it's all right. As much as I do mind editing, we're gonna get through it together, right? Well, not the editing part. Anyway, I'm gonna move forward. Let's fix some issues when it comes to the CSS, right? The first thing I want is the app, the entire app, right? There was another issue that I had when I was looking at it on my computer screen. My computer screen is a little bit bigger than this size. This size is really half and half of what my computer screen says it is, but when I actually open up my computer screen, I saw a different background color lining here. So I figure I might as well change that, right? The fact is that I put 8 view height on the padding, which I probably shouldn't have. I think I should have put it on the margin. Okay, with the header alone, let's add some things. I needed something separate from the header and the footer, depending on the screen size. So on the header, I could have it as max content, but it's really going to be min height. The min height is the max content, and the height of the header itself is going to be 8. 8 view height, that is. Right? Made it a little bit bigger. Now we have a set size for it. We don't have to worry about the different sizes messing up the screen, basically. And the footer, we're gonna have a regular height setting of max content. That's why we didn't need it here, because we will have to have separate ones. Okay, on the button, I'm sure we're done with this as well. On the button, we're gonna change the margin from auto just to 0. Okay, on the home page, let's add some things, right? First of all, we're gonna align this text, make sure it's centered. And we're gonna give it a minimum height. Minimum height of 93 view height, because the header is around 7, but I just made it 8, right? Oh, and as a matter of fact, it's here that we're worried about, right? The screen size. So let's make a display of flex, just to make sure. Right? Flex direction is going to be column. We're going to justify the content with space between. And like I said, this cream is starting to work on me, but maybe I should keep the cream color. Let's see how it looks with the background of white. Okay. That video looks a little further down than I would like, but it is what it is. I might not go ahead with this. I might just change that back to the cream color background and just have that white screen for the video alone. And speaking of the video, because that's looking a little off kilter right now, set it up for a margin of 0 and a padding of 0, just in case. And I know you're like, hey, Amari, that's not helping it being off kilter. So let's align self and center that out. See if that helps. There she blows. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I like that. I like that. I like that. So, you know what? Because I do like the cream color too. And I still have the buttons as cream, right? I don't want to change them for white on this page and then make them cream on the other pages because the background of the other pages is cream or beige, whatever you want to call it. So maybe this is not too bad to just have it with a video, right? Because the footer does cut off is sitting right at the bottom of the video, right? So you don't see that little glimmer of cream underneath, and the fact that the video box, the only time you do see that, of course, is here, where the video box is it's not exactly centered, but it's in the middle of the screen somewhere. Let me look at that white once more. Cause see, right here, it doesn't look bad. And I figure there's gonna be X amount of people on the mobile screen. And if they're gonna be on their mobile screen, the screen most likely won't be as small as mine. But they probably won't be using it in landscape mode. Right? It'll be better for them to see more of the game as it continues. Alright, that's enough of that because I do have my speaker turned up all the way. So let's go through and mute all of them in the meantime for now. That's just about it for the fixes. I think that I just have to omit the homepage wheel and homepage wheel hover code from the CSS. So let's take a quick look for that. Okay, homepage wheel and homepage wheel hover. You can go homepage wheel and homepage wheel hover. Spinning I'm still going to need for inside the game, but homepage wheel I shouldn't need anymore. So I could get rid of these two, right? Homepage wheel and homepage wheel hover. Homepage wheel and homepage wheel hover again. And what was that? No results? Keyframes, yes. Okay, it's a very small set of keyframes. Yes, my friends. Yes, I am just about done. So, at least this didn't take as long as the last two videos. And after I edit it, it's going to be much shorter than what it seems to me right now. It's going on 50 minutes right now. But hopefully, by the time I finish editing, it's going to be much less time for you all. All right. And with that being said, I'm going to commit, but there's no need to drag this out and have y'all witness that. So I have to bid you all adieu, right? You know how it go, everyone. Keep building, right? I wish you all the best. And thanks for watching. If you appreciate what we're doing over here, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. All right, y'all. Till next time, you know how it goes. Keep building.